So I had all the confidence that this was going to work. You know, we thought really hard about what edits to make to the DNA. The edits that we made them really light colored in coat, and so when I saw them born and they were white, I was like, we've done it.
Now what happens if Optimus Prime Shakalaka Boom Boom's Megatron over here? Nothing. They're both neutered and they will never do that because they are siblings and they know that, I think. And what happens if a Grey Wolf Shakalaka Boom Boom's a DNA that was found inside a fossil of an extinct animal from 10,000 years ago, a dire wolf, and the scientists edit the shit out of that DNA and mix it with the Grey Wolf? What do you get out of it? A dire wolf. I think it's more complicated than that. We're gonna talk about this. Why am I out of breath? What the fuck? Air left the chat for a second over there. I'm sure by now you're most probably aware it is all over the internet. There is no escaping it. You see a couple of little cute donkeys going, ow, 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 ow. It's being said that scientists Jurassic Park that shit and, you know, de-extinct the direwolf pack.
Colossal Biosciences says it's brought back an extinct species, the first time ever for humanity. These are dire wolves, well known from HBO's hit show, Game of Thrones.
There are no direwolves south of the wall. No, there are 5.
These animals haven't walked the earth for some 10,000 years.
The direwolf is the first de-extinct species. This is the exogenous development lab, so this is where we're working on the artificial womb.
Now it's being said that these scientists have been finding the DNAs and studying the DNAs from fossils that is from 13,000 to 72,000 years ago. And they kept that shit quiet and out of his oven. Shut up! By the way, guys, remember direwolves from 12,500 years ago? Well, they're alive now. They just, you know, just like the Chinese cars entering the world or out of a sudden and everyone owning Chinese cars. Shut up! Now we have direwolves according to them. They're keeping it in a Area 51 place. Media was rejected to, you know, go and interview the dire wolves. I would tell the media to go fuck themselves too if I had those 3 wolves as well. Sorry, dire wolves.
And we scanned through the genomes of the 2 dire wolves.
Dr. Shapiro believes the work going on in this small lab could have a big impact on all life on our planet. Colossal has set ambitious goals.
Woolly mammoths, now long extinct, once roamed these northern landscapes in large herds, playing a critical role in the stability of their ecosystem.
Ben Lamb founded Colossal initially on the idea of bringing back the woolly mammoth.
Yep, they are going to bring mammoth back by 2028. That's what they're saying. Maybe it'll be a little bit delayed. Hopefully Seth will come back with them as well. But they're playing God over here. I'll be very careful with what they bring back. We don't want all animals to be de-extinct. Now, how big are the dire wolves? The way it's being, you know, thrown around. Oh, dire wolf. Oh my God, no. As if, you know, they're 3 times the human size. No, this is a 6 foot tall human. Dire wolves are said to be from 3 to 4 feet only. Just a little bit, I mean, not a little bit, quite a lot bigger than a gray wolf. Dire wolves, sure. Mammoth, sure. Dinosaurs, fuck no. Don't bring those bitches back.
That idea has gotten Colossal a $10 billion valuation and a lot of high-profile investors like Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Peter Jackson.
We're not a foundation, we're not a nonprofit, we're not an academic think tank. You know, we are trying to actually, you know, develop products and build technologies.
This is where it gets very dangerous. They're not a nonprofit organization. They have billions. If, you know, in the coming days, I won't be surprised if they get to trillions of investments from all around the world. Like I said, rich people bored, they want to bring, hey, if I give you like, you know, $50 billion, can you bring back like, can you give me like 1 dinosaur? I always wish to, you know, have a dinosaur in my garden. I just like one. The thing is, I have a feeling they will, because if they can, they will. This was the first successful de-extinct operation. Back in 2009, they tried to de-extinct an animal that was extinct in the year 2000. It was just 9 years, and even though the DNA was very fresh as well, and they kept it in it, they stored it in a nitrogen thing, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm reading it from somewhere that I read. Just a few weeks after the animal died, and the dire wolves, which they have like 10,000 plus years of DNA. They lasted for 7 months, which is pretty impressive. So if they can do this, who knows? We have some very rich billionaire trillionaires who are very bored with their life, and they will invest and they will buy dinosaurs at one point. I won't be surprised, honestly, if you have like dinosaurs by the year like 2040, but please don't. Bring back giants, I think. What I say is bring back giants. One person has to sacrifice and give birth, mix a DNA of a giant that you find probably, 50 million years ago, and you kept it in a refrigerator. I'm sure the Area 51 is full of those. Can you imagine if we have giants in this world? I'm talking 15 foot something, or 20 foot something. WWE will be in a whole different game. Can you imagine like you're sitting in an audience and every second there's like an earthquake when, one of the giants do their signature move or finisher move? John Cena, shut up! Earthquake! I think it'll be pretty, entertaining if we can control the giants. But how they make the direwolves is literally like the movie Jurassic Park. Bioscientists, they mixed up a DNA of a gray wolf, which is 99.5% the same DNA as a direwolf, and the other 0.5%, they edited the direwolf genes DNA that they found, and they did a little bit of shatak, mix it together, and it was a successful operation.
Colossal, keeping their direwolf project secret from the world for more than 18 months.
How did this happen?
We're making a list of what are the cool animals that are extinct that people would be interested in.
Bring back Seth from Ice Age. Or giants. I'm okay with both, honestly. Seth from Ice Age, I think they're extinct. It was a sloth, but a special kind of sloth. I think they were called ground sloths. Or I have no idea, but just bring back Seth. I think that will be a very cool animal to have in this world.
So we've taken a gray wolf genome, a gray wolf cell, which is already genetically 99.5% identical to direwolves, and we've edited those cells at multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the direwolf version of the DNA. We have an embryo. Then we put that embryo into a surrogate mom, and that embryo develops into a fetus and then is born. That animal looks like a direwolf, it will behave like a direwolf, and it is a direwolf.
Now people are 50-50 about this. Some are saying, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Even though, it's not that interesting, but the fact that, they were extinct for like 10,000 plus years and now they're back, that's fucking cool. That's great. Other 50% are saying this is just gray wolf with a hair color on them. They don't believe this is an actual direwolf. Even scientists on TikTok are saying, oh, this is just a gray wolf with just a little bit of color on it. It's not actually a direwolf. A lot of people are saying that. And what the scientist over here who's being interviewed, who works for the biotech company, something, the ones who created this direwolf, they brought it back to life. Her response to all the people who don't believe this is, if it looks like a direwolf, if it acts like a direwolf, and if it grows the same size as a direwolf, it's a direwolf, you donkey. And I think fair enough.
I would say that they are similar enough that you could probably tweak a gray wolf genome to look like a direwolf, but you certainly could approximate the direwolf's appearance using a gray wolf model.
How do you definitively say to them, no, this is a direwolf?
It's a great question. And this is really a human construct. I think that the best definition of a species is if it looks like that species, if it is acting like that species, if it is filling the role of that species, then you've done it.
Now humans act like donkeys too. Johnny Somali's Uncle Vitaly. But they don't really look like donkeys. Wait. Is it a dire wolf or is it just a gray wolf with just some hair color on it? That's just your personal opinion at this point. Internet is divided. It's 50-50. Do I believe that? Do we have that technology? I think we do. I think we do have that technology to bring back the extinct animals. That's just my personal opinion. Are those dire wolves? One way to find out. Let them grow up. Let them to be like what, 160 to 170 pounds. They're going to be huge as shit. They're going to be heavy as shit. Let's hope they don't give them steroids so they don't get any bigger. Then we're going to have like a Rampage movie. Honestly, let's just not go there. Do I think what they're doing is right? And no. They're just playing God over here. I think it's going to backfire because Once money comes in, the sky's the limit. Let's bring back dinosaurs. Woo! Yes. No, it's they're extinct. They're meant to be. Let them rest in peace. There is no need to bring them back, and this is not an actual version of them. It's an edited version of them. So they are extinct, but some are alive right now with the edited version of their genes. You get what I mean? They're back, but they're not really back. It's an edited version that was created in a lab. You get my point, right? Anyways, I don't really give a shit. I just thought this was a whole cool thing that the world did. Even though I say people shouldn't play God and bring back the extinct animals, let them rest, I think it's still a pretty cool thing to have, to know that we have in this world. Let's just hope they don't get greedy and go after, you know, other the extinct dangerous animals, because we can, so why not, right? Anyways, just want to, you know, update you about this. You take it easy. See you in the next one.